New York City, a concrete jungle, a symphony of noise, a place where dreams are made of steel and glass. This is a story about four souls, four lives intertwined with the city's relentless pulse. They are strangers, yet their lives share the same rhythm. A rhythm that echoes in the rumble of the subway and the honking of taxis. The city that never sleeps is about to wake up. And as the sun rises, so do the dreams and struggles of millions. We dive into their world, a world of constant motion, fleeting connections, and quiet moments of reflection. Before we get started on the journey of these four people that live and work in New York City, I would like to invite you to comment and subscribe to our channel. Your comments help us know how you are enjoying the videos. Smashing that subscribe button will make sure that you will never miss out on amazing videos again. Thanks for joining Tour Around the World. The bike messenger, a blur of motion, weaves through traffic. He is a part of the city's chaotic ballet.
Every pedal stroke is a beat in the city's heart.
The ER nurse battles fatigue. She fights for life under the harsh glare of fluorescent lights.
Every patient is a story, a life hanging in the balance.
The Wall Street intern, lost in a sea of suits, chases numbers and ambition.
Each tick of the stock ticker is a step closer to a dream.
The food cart vendor, a silent observer, feeds the city one lunch at a time.
Every meal served is a connection, a moment of shared humanity.
Each person, a small piece of a much larger puzzle. They are connected by the invisible threads of New York's energy. Their lives are a testament to the city's relentless pace, a pace that both exhilarates and exhausts. The first rays of sunlight paint the skyscrapers gold. It's a new day in the city that never sleeps, a day of endless possibilities, a day of dreams chased and battles fought. The city awakens, and with it, our four stories begin.
Time to face the urban jungle again.
The bike messenger hops on his bike, ready to face the urban jungle.
Another shift, another chance to make a difference.
The ER nurse prepares for another 12-hour shift, her spirit unbroken.
Today could be the day everything changes.
The Wall Street intern straightens his tie, his ambition burning bright.
A new day, new faces, new stories.
The food cart vendor pushes his cart through the awakening streets, a silent symphony of clanging metal and the promise of a new day. The morning light creeps down the narrow alleyway. It illuminates a jumble of dumpsters and fire escapes. The air hangs heavy with the smell of garbage. A symphony of city sounds builds. Sirens, trucks, honking taxis. Mateo, the bike messenger, emerges from the shadows. He walks towards his bike with bright yellow handlebars. He checks the tires, gears, and brakes. This bike is Mateo's freedom. He slings his messenger bag over his shoulder. Another day, another race against time. The sun climbs higher, casting a golden glow on the skyscrapers that dwarf Mateo as he emerges from the alleyway. He merges into the morning rush hour, a single cyclist swallowed by a river of yellow cabs and delivery trucks. The air, now thick with exhaust fumes and the smell of hot pretzels, vibrates with the cacophony of the city waking up. Mateo thrives on this chaos. He trusts his instincts, his reflexes honed by countless hours spent navigating the city's unforgiving streets. A package delivered to a harried businessman, a bouquet of flowers for a young woman with tired eyes, a legal document that could make or break a career. He is a silent witness to the hopes and anxieties that course through the city's veins. The sun reaches its zenith, turning the asphalt into a shimmering mirage. Mateo navigates the canyons of glass and steel, the skyscrapers towering above him like watchful giants. He can feel the energy of the city pulsating around him, a frenetic heartbeat that mirrors his own.
He slows down, momentarily caught in a bottleneck of traffic. He takes a swig from his water bottle. the cool liquid a welcome relief from the oppressive heat radiating from the pavement. He glances up at the pedestrians on the sidewalk. A sea of faces, each lost in their own private world.
A young mother struggles with a stroller, her face etched with frustration. An elderly man walks his dog, their pace slow and measured. A group of tourists consult a map, their excited chatter a stark contrast to the silent intensity of the city dwellers around them. Matteo observes them all, a silent observer of the human drama unfolding around him.
He is a part of this city, yet he exists on its fringes, a fleeting shadow in the urban landscape. He is both invisible and indispensable, his presence unnoticed yet essential to the rhythm of the city.
The lunch rush descends upon the city like a wave, a hungry tide of humanity flooding the streets. Matteo finds himself caught in a sea of suits and briefcases. He navigates the crowded sidewalks, his bike a cumbersome burden.
He finds a moment of respite in a small park. He pulls out a crumpled brown bag from his messenger bag, a simple sandwich made that morning before dawn.
Around him, the park is alive with activity. Office workers devour sandwiches on park benches. A group of children chase pigeons, their laughter echoing. A young couple sits on a bench, lost in their own world.
Matteo eats his lunch slowly, savoring the brief respite. He closes his eyes, listening to the sounds of the city.
This is the soundtrack of his life, a chaotic symphony.
As the afternoon wears on, the city's energy seems to escalate. The streets become even more congested, a tangled web of yellow cabs, delivery trucks, and frustrated commuters. The air is thick with exhaust fumes and the tension of 1,000 deadlines looming.
Matteo, fueled by a caffeine boost from a street vendor's cart, plunges back into the fray. He pedals hard, his legs burning with exertion, his lungs struggling to find oxygen in the exhaust-filled air. He relies on instinct and adrenaline, his senses on high alert as he navigates the urban obstacle course.
He dodges pedestrians, avoids opening car doors, and anticipates the unpredictable movements of taxis with an almost sixth sense. The city seems to be moving faster now, a frenetic dance of metal and motion. The setting sun casts long shadows, turning the streets into a maze of light and dark.
Car horns blare, sirens wail in the distance, and the rumble of the subway vibrates through the pavement. Through it all, Matteo pedals on, a solitary figure navigating the urban rapids. He's a part of this chaos, yet he is also apart from it. He observes the city's inhabitants from his unique vantage point, witnessing their triumphs and frustrations, their joys and sorrows, all played out against the backdrop of the city that never sleeps.
As dusk settles over the city, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the pace of life begins to slow. The traffic thins, the car horns become less insistent, and the city's energy seems to shift, exhaling after a long, demanding day.
Matteo feels the change in the air. His own body aches with fatigue, his muscles protesting the miles he has covered. But there is a sense of satisfaction, too, a quiet pride in having conquered another day in the urban jungle. He stops at a bodega, the fluorescent lights a beacon in the gathering darkness.
He buys a cold drink and leans against his bike, watching the city transition from day to night. The streets are still bustling, but there's a different energy now, a sense of anticipation for the night ahead. People spill out of office buildings, eager to shed the day's stress and embrace the possibilities of the evening.
Couples stroll hand in hand, their laughter echoing in the twilight. The smell of spices and grilling meat wafts from a nearby restaurant, a tantalizing promise of dinner.
Darkness falls, and the city transforms once again. The skyscrapers, no longer gleaming in the sunlight, become towering silhouettes against the night sky, their windows glowing like 1,000 fireflies. Streetlights flicker on, casting a warm glow on the sidewalks below.
Mateo feels a surge of energy, a second wind. The city at night holds a different kind of magic, a sense of freedom and anonymity. He navigates the now familiar streets, the darkness both a comfort and a challenge. He relies on his knowledge of the city's rhythms, his senses heightened as he pedals through the shadows.
He finishes his last delivery of the day, a small package delivered to a nondescript apartment building. He watches as the recipient, a young woman with tired eyes, disappears inside, the package clutched in her hand. He wonders about her story, the reason for the late delivery, the significance of the package.
He mounts his bike and pedals away, melting back into the urban tapestry. The city is alive with possibilities, a symphony of light and sound that never sleeps. And Mateo, the bike messenger, is a part of its rhythm, his own story woven into the fabric of the city that never sleeps.
The city's morning symphony is a cacophony of car horns and construction noises, but for me, the most prominent instrument is the ambulance siren. It's a sound that never truly leaves my ears, a constant reminder of the urgency that permeates my world.
As the sun rises, casting long shadows across the city, the sirens seem to multiply, their wails echoing through the concrete canyons, each one a desperate plea for help.
Inside one such speeding ambulance, I work with practiced efficiency, my movements a blur of practiced grace amidst the chaos. The air inside is thick with the smell of antiseptic and fear. Every second counts, and I am acutely aware of the fragility of life within this metal box hurtling through the city streets.
Her patient, a young man with a mangled leg and a face etched with pain, groans in agony.
We're almost there, just hold on a little longer.
Each bump in the road sends jolts of pain through the young man's body, but Lena never falters. She monitors his vitals, her eyes darting between his pale face and the array of monitors surrounding him. She's seen too much, experienced too much to let the chaos shake her. She is a steady hand in the storm, a beacon of hope in the face of suffering. The ambulance screeches to a halt outside the bustling entrance of the city hospital. The doors swing open, revealing a scene of controlled chaos. Stretchers are rushed through the automatic doors, their occupants pale and anxious. Doctors and nurses move with a sense of urgency, their voices echoing through the brightly lit corridors.
I help wheel my patient through the labyrinthine corridors. The gurney bumps over the threshold into a brightly lit trauma bay, where a team of medical professionals awaits our arrival. The handoff is seamless, a well-rehearsed choreography of medical expertise.
As Lena gives a concise report on her patient's condition, she's already stepping back, melting into the background. She sheds her blood-stained gloves, the snap of the latex a familiar percussion in the symphony of the ER.
There's no time for reflection, no space for emotional baggage in this environment. Every second counts, and another ambulance siren wails in the distance, a stark reminder that the city never sleeps, and neither does its suffering.
She takes a deep breath, the sterile air doing little to mask the metallic tang of blood and antiseptic that seems permanently etched into her senses. Her shift is far from over, and the city, with its endless capacity for both beauty and brutality, will keep on delivering its wounded and weary to her doorstep. The ER is a tapestry of human suffering, woven with threads of anxiety, pain, and desperate hope.
I am a witness to the raw vulnerability of the human condition, stripped bare in the face of illness and injury.
Despite the chaos, moments of camaraderie sustain Lena.
They are a team, bound by shared experiences and unwavering commitment to their patients. The hours blur together, a relentless cycle of admissions and discharges. Lena loses track of time, her world defined by the rhythmic beeping of heart monitors and the urgent murmur of medical jargon.
Not all battles are won.
The silence after a code blue is deafening, a stark contrast to the usual cacophony of the ER. As dawn breaks, a wave of exhaustion washes over me.
The city outside is slowly coming to life, but for Lena, the rhythm fades as she steps out into the fresh air. The sun casts long shadows across the financial district.
My reflection, a pale ghost in a dark suit, stares back at me from the glass walls of my office.
As the sun rises, the tempo of the trading floor accelerates.
The symphony of the trading floor is a language all its own, a cacophony of shouted orders and ringing phones.
The lunch hour arrives like a reprieve.
Thinking, just need to get away from all this.
As the afternoon wears on, the pressure builds.
Thinking I can do this. I have to do this.
As the day draws to a close, Daniel finds himself alone in the office.
Thinking, is this really worth it? The city outside my window is bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, the sky a canvas of fiery orange and deep purple. The skyscrapers, no longer imposing monoliths, seem to shimmer in the fading light, their glass facades reflecting the colors of the sky.
Daniel watches as the city transforms from a place of business to a place of beauty, its harsh edges softened by the golden light. He sees couples strolling hand in hand, their laughter echoing in the twilight. He sees friends gathering for drinks, their faces illuminated by the warm glow of streetlights. He sees a city full of life, of connection, of possibilities that extend far beyond the walls of his office.
For a moment, I allow myself to imagine a different life, one where I'm not defined by my job title or my bank balance. I picture myself walking those streets, my hand clasped in another's, my heart open to the beauty and chaos of the city.
But the moment passes, and the familiar weight of ambition settles back on his shoulders. He turns away from the window, his gaze returning to the cold glow of his computer screen.
As darkness falls and the city lights begin to twinkle on, I know that my work is far from over. I have emails to answer, reports to finish, deadlines to meet. The night stretches before me, long and arduous, another battle in the endless war for Wall Street supremacy.
He takes a swig of his now cold coffee, the bitter liquid doing little to revive his flagging spirits. He cracks his knuckles, a nervous habit, and stares at the blinking cursor on his computer screen, his mind already racing ahead to the next challenge, the next deal, the next opportunity to prove himself.
I know that this is the life I've chosen, the path I've determined to follow. But tonight, as I sit alone in my glass and steel cage, the city lights twinkling like a million unfulfilled dreams, I can't shake the feeling that I'm paying a high price for my ambition. A price that might be measured in more than just lost sleep and missed connections.
The city that never sleeps is still rubbing the slumber from its eyes. But for Miguel, the food cart vendor, the day has already begun. As the first whispers of dawn paint the sky a pale pink and orange, he's already on the move. His metal cart rattling over the uneven sidewalks, a familiar symphony of clanging metal and hissing propane.
The air, still cool and crisp with the remnants of the night, carries the scent of fresh bread from a nearby bakery. a comforting aroma that momentarily masks the less appealing smells of the city waking up. Exhaust fumes, stale garbage, and the faint tang of urine.
Miguel, his face still bearing the lines of a night spent sleeping in a cramped apartment, moves with a quiet efficiency. He sets up his cart on the corner of 53rd and Lexington, a familiar spot in the heart of Midtown Manhattan, a place where the relentless energy of the city seems to converge.
I unfold the metal awnings, their faded colors a testament to countless sunrises and sudden downpours. I arrange my condiments with care, each squeeze bottle and plastic container filled to the brim, a silent promise of flavor to come.
He is a small business owner, a one-man operation, and his cart is his domain, a tiny island of culinary creation amidst the urban sprawl.
As the sun climbs higher, my cart transforms into a beacon of aroma. The smell of sizzling onions and peppers, the warm spices of my secret sauce, and the comforting aroma of grilling meat waft through the air.
He moves with a practiced rhythm, chopping, grilling, assembling his movements a well-rehearsed ballet of culinary efficiency.
I take pride in my work, in the fresh ingredients I source each morning, in the smiles my food brings to the faces of my customers.
The lunch hour arrives like a tidal wave, a sudden influx of hungry customers eager for a quick and satisfying meal.
My apron now splattered with a rainbow of condiments, I find myself in the eye of the storm, my hands moving at lightning speed as I take orders, assemble plates, and make change.
The air crackles with a frenetic energy as people jostle for position in front of his cart. Their orders a chorus of hot dog with everything, and chicken over rice, extra spicy. Miguel, his face beaded with sweat, his smile unwavering, navigates the chaos with practiced ease.
I am a master of my domain, a conductor orchestrating the symphony of the lunch rush. I remember my regular customers' orders, exchange friendly banter with familiar faces, and offer a kind word to those who seem lost or overwhelmed by the city's relentless pace.
He is a witness to the ebb and flow of human emotion, the impatience of those in a hurry, the gratitude of those who find solace in a hot meal, the weariness of those who carry the weight of the city on their shoulders. But through it all, Miguel remains a constant, a source of comfort and sustenance, a small business owner with a big heart, feeding the city one plate at a time. In the midst of the lunch rush, Miguel finds moments to connect with his customers, forging fleeting bonds that transcend the transactional nature of his business. He learns their names, their stories, their dreams, all in the space of a shared meal.
There's the elderly woman who always orders a hot dog with extra sauerkraut, her wrinkled face breaking into a toothless grin. The young businessman in his crisp suit grabs a quick slice of pizza on his way to a meeting. The construction worker orders chicken over rice, his eyes lighting up at the familiar taste of home.
Miguel listens to their stories, their triumphs and heartbreaks, offering a moment of human connection. He offers a sympathetic ear, a kind word, in a city that can often feel isolating.
For some customers, I might be the only person they talk to all day, and I cherish those interactions. I am a part of their lives, a familiar face in the urban landscape, and they, in turn, become a part of mine. As the lunch rush subsides, and the city settles into the steady rhythm of the afternoon, I allow myself a moment to catch my breath.
He leans against his cart, wiping the sweat from his brow, his eyes scanning the street scene before him.
The sun, now high in the sky, casts long shadows from the surrounding skyscrapers, creating a play of light and dark on the sidewalk.
The air, still carrying the scent of grilling meat and spices from his cart, is now mingled with the sweet aroma of blooming flowers from a nearby vendor's stall.
He watches as a group of children chase pigeons in the square across the street, their laughter echoing through the air, a welcome counterpoint to the usual cacophony of the city.
He sees a young couple sharing a kiss on a park bench, their love a silent testament to the enduring power of human connection amidst the urban sprawl.
He takes a sip of his lukewarm coffee, the bitter liquid a welcome jolt to his tired muscles.
He closes his eyes for a moment, savoring the relative quiet, the feeling of the sun on his face, the symphony of city sounds that for now seem almost peaceful.
As the sun begins its slow descent, casting long shadows across the city, I prepare for the evening rush.
He restocks his supplies, wipes down his cart, and lights the grill, the familiar hiss of propane a signal that he's open for business.
The city around me is transforming once again, the pace of life picking up as office workers begin to stream out of their buildings, eager to shed the day's stress and embrace the possibilities of the evening.
The air takes on a different energy, a sense of anticipation and excitement as the city prepares to don its nighttime attire.
I watch as the first of the after-work crowds begin to gather, their laughter and conversation a welcome change from the more business-like demeanor of the lunchtime rush.
He sees groups of friends gathering for drinks, couples heading out for dinner dates, and tourists soaking up the sights and sounds of the city that never sleeps.
I take a deep breath, ready to face the evening rush, my heart filled with a quiet satisfaction. I am a part of this city, a small but vital cog in its intricate machinery, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
As darkness falls, Miguel's cart becomes a beacon in the urban night.
The warm glow of my awning draws in a steady stream of customers, each seeking a taste of comfort.
He works late into the night, his heart filled with quiet pride.
I dream of a small restaurant, a place to share my love of food.
For now, he is content with his cart, his corner, his connection to the city. As night deepens and the city's pulse reverberates through the concrete and steel canyons, our four New Yorkers find themselves at a crossroads of exhaustion and exhilaration.
My bike finally still, I lean against a brick wall, the city's symphony of sirens and distant laughter a familiar lullaby.
Stripped of my scrubs, I stare out my apartment window at the pre-dawn glow, the city's vulnerability mirroring my own.
Daniel, illuminated by the cold glow of his computer screen, sees the sunrise paint the city in hues of hope, a stark contrast to the sterile confines of his ambition.
And I, with my cart silent, walk the deserted streets back to my apartment, the city's quiet breath a moment of shared solitude.
They are bound to this city, these four souls, their lives a reflection of its frenetic energy and quiet grace.
My deliveries might land on Lena's desk at the hospital, a brief moment of connection in the chaos of her shift.
My late-night takeout, ordered in a moment of exhaustion, might be prepared by Miguel, a silent exchange of sustenance between two very different worlds.
The city, with its relentless rhythm, its symphony of noise and silence, becomes a character in their stories, shaping their experiences, challenging their resolve, and ultimately revealing their humanity.
We are all part of something larger than ourselves, a collective heartbeat that pulses through the streets, a shared experience that transcends our individual struggles and triumphs.
The film closes with a montage of images. Mateo speeding through Times Square, a blur of motion against the backdrop of flashing billboards. Lena sharing a weary smile with a colleague in a quiet hospital corridor. Daniel pausing at his window, captivated by the beauty of the city's skyline. Miguel handing a hot dog to a smiling customer, a simple act of connection in the urban jungle.
These are the unsung heroes of the city, the ones who keep its heart beating, its spirit alive, its symphony playing on.
Their stories, though unseen by each other, resonate with a universal truth. That even in a city as vast and impersonal as New York, human connection persists, often in the smallest of gestures, the briefest of encounters, the shared experience of navigating the urban symphony together.
We are the city's unseen symphony, our lives a testament to the resilience, diversity, and enduring spirit of New York City.